Oh, hey guys, what's up? It's
Hello.
Jazzy Jolene.
Hi, I'm Joshua Lee Bruce. I run the YouTube channel Dogmatic Director.
And you're my fiance.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, all the people that are sliding into her DMs constantly, I'm that other guy she brings up. You may not like it, but this is peak male performance. Get used to it.
But anyways, welcome back to my channel. This is my final episode of the Halloween Scary Story series for this year, 2019. We're going into a new decade. Isn't that crazy?
The whole 2020 thing. It's like
2020
it's like the roaring
vision.
20s. We're back into the roaring 20s.
Yeah! Roaring 20s, 2020 vision. It's so much things, and I'm just so glad to have Josh here on my channel, and of course collaborating again. As you may have seen us in the Love is an Open Door video on my second channel, Jolene Sings. Please go and watch it. I will insert a card. But anyways, you guys are probably wondering why we're here. We're here to tell our final episode, our scariest ghost encounters. You excited, babe?
I'm as excited as one could possibly be to tell ghost stories, which is always quite.
Always quite.
It's always a quite amount, like quite excited. Like that's what I'm getting across. I'm not good with words.
You don't word?
I don't know who has time for words. Why do lot word when few word do trick?
You know who do have time for words? Okay, anyways, you know who does have time for words?
Who?
Philosophers.
Oh yeah, because they have to use a lot of words. If they don't use a lot of words, they don't get across what they're trying to talk about.
Anyways, I don't think they came here to watch philosophy lessons with Jazzy Jolene and Dogmatic Director, so I'm going to tell the ghost stories.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Alright, I worked at a job at a bank. It is the same video that I was talking about to my grandma saying I quit my job, insert tag here. Anyways, this bank is known to be haunted. It is on an Indian burial ground, and I actually said that wrong last time and this time actually. It's on a Native American burial ground. Whenever I first started the bank, I just noticed like a general like creepy presence. So, and it was like aware that I knew of its presence. So, whenever like I would walk in the bank and just clear the building, I just felt just so uneasy, especially when wants to like clear a bank. If you've ever worked in banking and have to clear a bank, you know what it feels like to kind of be in there alone, just with the added layer of the ghost. But anyways, people at my bank started making some, like senior leadership wise, started making some really bad decisions, like even since I started at that branch, because I worked at another one before. And things started out by things getting moved. Like I had one spot where I left my pen one day, and it moved from that pen spot, like that I had towards the right hand side, to the left hand side. And at the time I thought my male coworker was just with me, and he's like, no, why did I even move your pen? That's so dumb. And so I just kind of ignored it because I'm like, okay, I think he's just trying to play a trick on me. He's a prankster, so whatever. Ignored it. But anyways, I did find like a teller ticket one day written on like the year before. So it was, I think the date was like 5/31/2017 that it was on the ticket. The date was 5/31/2018. And I thought that was so freaky. And what was really weird, it was like written in women's handwriting, not mine, and obviously not my coworkers, because I knew what his handwriting looked like, and it pretty much looked like so it's true, I showed you that
Yeah,
slip.
yeah.
It was creepy. If I have that slip, I will show it to you, but I've also shown his handwriting. It's pretty bad. I'm just like, okay, that is weird. I'll just take a picture of it, whatever, for my records. And then after that, just more and more things started happening. At one point in time, I started seeing an older gentleman just try to open the door at the front, and he would never get in. And sometimes I would see him get out of the car and never get let in. I never knew like what the color of the car was or what exactly he looked like. I just saw him like with the cane, and it was just so creepy. And then I finally got another coworker at the bank. Like just some staffing changes happened, whatever. Some staff got moved around. And this woman, I'll just call her Shauna just for this episode, but Shauna was a God-fearing woman. Her and I just prayed. We prayed that ghost away and it left for several months. And all was well for a little bit. That is until my senior leadership made a decision that really hurt managers. Here's a little backstory. Pretty much they were trying to make our branch managers also business development people. So they would put our branch managers out doing door-to-door sales with businesses. So pretty much soliciting. If you're like me and if you want to ever own a business, you don't want somebody going to your business asking to bank with them. Like, it's kind of corny. And so they pretty much told these branch managers, like, if you do not get accounts like we need to at ladder goals, you're not only going to get no raise, you're also going to like get a bad performance eval. So they were just trying to put two people in one staff and run lean, as they said. Whenever he made that decision, like money, like as money would come into the bank, the presence would come back and come stronger. So as in the Bible, I don't remember what verse it was, but I know it's in the New Testament. But it said that money is the root to all evil. I never believed it because growing up, I kind of grew up poor, like had money, then I got poor. I knew that money was a way for survival. And with this bank, money was a way to control people, which is obviously very evil. They were trying to coerce managers to get the sales they wanted. Although the funny part was they never really made a whole lot of like door-to-door sales. The only one door-to-door that was successful was like in 2017, so it's really not that great, but like more money that came into the bank, like not just in sales, but also like our shipments. So every Monday we would like tell the main branch what we needed as far as money goes, like what we needed to run our like week in the fall. So pretty much from every Tuesday on, from when that very bad negative decision was made, more evil presence came into the building. Things would kind of get spilled, like there were some things in the walls. I would hear some shutters like in the ceiling. Also, our electronics up several times. We've had some alarms not set, like we've had alarms go crazy. It's more technology problems than what we needed, and sometimes our keyboards wouldn't type. It's absolutely crazy.
Everything just started going wrong seemingly for no reason at the same time.
Pretty much. Like we've had our repair people come there and say there's nothing wrong with it. Like that kind of crazy. Like,
yeah, I have issues with some of my tech whenever I'm back home, because the way my setup is, I've got a keyboard, a mouse on a desk with a 2-monitor setup and a computer with some stuff that's been switched out. It's as beefed up as I'm going to get without starting to have to pay $300 a part. But usually if once something goes wrong, I know what's going on and I know how to fix it.
But these technicians didn't even know what's wrong. And I tried telling these technicians, like, hey, I think it might be a ghost. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they finally fixed it after I mentioned the ghost. But it got to the point. Well, that was rude to interrupt of them.
It's always the same numbers. It's always.
We we were talking about it. Like you wanted to do that whenever I answered that call.
Right, but
we were
deal with someone from where. I want to deal with some random person from Pennsylvania right now.
Yeah, he looked up the number while I was getting the camera situated. But anyways, it got to the point where I had to anoint the building with extra virgin olive oil. My God-fearing woman coworker, Shahana, kind of told me how to do it a little bit since she was a former Catholic, and also one of my best friends who's not Catholic but believes in like the anointing stuff, taught me kind of how to do it. And along with the internet, I know what you're going to say, Jolene, you're crazy. Yes, I know I'm crazy, but I wanted this thing to stop possessing my workplace. So what I did is I got my coworker and we prayed together, and I dipped my finger in the olive oil, and at every single doorway, because that's how you're supposed to do it, is I painted the cross. And just for extra measures, whenever like the technology would mess up, we also had like this debit card printer. I also put the cross like right by the debit card printer, and just places that were especially evil, like the vault, like the safe deposit box area, I put crosses there. I kind of ruined their wallpaper a little bit, but it's a Christian bank, they don't care. It's a cross, not like an upside down cross, so we're good. But after I anointed the bank, all the weird stopped. So that's pretty much the end of that story. After I quit there, I don't know what happened with the ghost. So ghost, demon, older guy, don't know. Anyways, what's your story, babe?
Well, I had to pick from some of them because there were a couple stories I could have told that involved like theater ghosts, but no amount of jumping off of boxes and landing on a fence and bruising 2 ribs can replace the plethora of theater ghost stories. Everyone who's been in theater has a theater ghost story.
Every good department.
Every good department's got one. But I've got a ghost story better for you. So, when I was younger, I want to say it was about 5th or 6th grade at the time. Me and a couple of people, they were friends then. I hardly talk to them anymore. They've all moved away.
Adulthood.
It's adulthood. Everyone just kind of goes their separate ways and hardly keeps in contact. It sucks. But it was around, I want to say it was around the Halloween time. I can't imagine any other time they'd think of something that's stupid. But where I live, there are points in town that have residences that are, some of them are condemned, some of them are not condemned, but probably should be. And some of them have had a reputation for being slightly haunted. They were haunted. They were full-on haunted. And these 2 friends had the brilliant idea of staying the night at one of these haunted houses. Now, at the time, I was already predisposed to kind of not believing in that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because shit like Ghost Hunters or the type of paranormal show you might find on BBC where they'll allude to something being there, but half the time it's either after effects or just an hour of vague describing, oh, I feel an energy, I feel an energy. What does that mean, though? And it goes nowhere. So I'm already prone to not believing in this kind of thing.
But there's a difference between energies, though.
There's a difference, obviously. But, so they're wanting to go to this haunted house the other night, and they're like, hey, Josh, why didn't you come with? And I'm thinking, nothing's gonna happen. What could possibly go wrong? So we get some stuff together, and we start the night. And anything abnormal that happens throughout the night, 75% of the time, it was those 2 friends' fault. Because they're either paranoid, or they're trying to get me with something. And I'm just laying there like, I'm just trying to sleep. Leave me alone. There were a couple instances that I thought were a little bit off. How some of the paintings I would walk in, they would be straight when I leave, and when I come back, they're crooked. Now, paintings do that sometimes. If they're hung, sometimes they can go crooked for some reason. I had no idea, so I didn't think much of it. Middle of the night, I could have sworn other parts of the house were creaking, and could have sworn I heard breathing in a couple of places. Of course, this was also coupled by certain bits where the bed I was sleeping in, those 2 friends that I mentioned before would hide a radio underneath and make noises like as if that's supposed to be scary. As if I hadn't seen any Ghostbuster movie by then. So I hear something like that, I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So with all of these constant interruptions throughout the whole night, I'm constantly being woken up in the middle of just going to sleep. So by the time the morning arrives, I'm awake, but I'm not happy. I'm in that between phase of being tired and awake at the same time.
I've seen that.
And everyone's getting their stuff packed. I'm like, wow, what a fucking eventful night. And I'm ready to leave there knowing that absolutely nothing has happened. I was proved right. Case dismissed. Until I go to the bathroom and brush my teeth and wash my face and everything. And there's this trope that horror movies do all the time where a person will be panicked or they'll be half asleep. They'll bend down to wash their face or brush their teeth or something, and they'll look back up and something else is in the mirror. It could be the villain. It could be a deformed version of themselves. They just could be missing from the mirror altogether. That's what happened. I bend down to wash my face, and when I look up, I see this old, decrepit man in place of where I'm supposed to be. And I stutter back because I'm not expecting to see something like that.
Not your face at all, right?
It's not my face. It's not even
like, it wasn't even in reflection, right? Is that how it was?
where my reflection was supposed to be, there sat this older, I want to say gentlemanly, but their face looked like pale and dusty, and their eyes looked kind of glazed over. It happened so quickly. It was like for a split second, because the moment I saw it, I backed up, my face kind of looked away, and when I looked back up, my reflection is back. So, part of it, I'm thinking, did I just not sleep well last night? Was I hallucinating? Until I do more research, and as it turns out, there was an older man that had died in that house that apparently matched close to the description of what I had seen. And keep in mind, I didn't know why this particular house was haunted until after I looked into this. I didn't know that it was possessed by a specific old man or some shit. So, I didn't start putting the dots together until after it all happened. So, I'm still not sure to this day if what I saw was just sleep-deprived hallucination or if it was the spirit of that old man. But at the same time, I've seen the kiss a random woman and stranger and the enemies just walk right by cliche proven real at the same time. So,
that's another story.
That's a completely different story. So, who knows what could have happened that night?
I'm pretty sure that was a ghost.
It probably was a ghost.
Let's take a poll. Over here, I'm going to put a card. If you think Josh saw a ghost, you vote yes. If you don't think he saw a ghost, you vote no. But I'm going to vote yes. You definitely saw a ghost.
At the very most, it was before the whole Weinstein incident, so I can safely say it wasn't Kevin Spacey in the mirror trying to get me. So, I can at least take assurance in this that that's not the case. So.
Kevin Spacey.
Who else was I gonna put there?
Pigeons?
Was it Bill Cosby in the fucking mirror?
Pigeons. That would be funny though.
The pigeons would be funny, but imagine Bill Cosby and you look down, you go to wash your face, you look up and you see Bill Cosby. That would scare me even.
Demonetized.
That would scare me more than a ghost.
Wait, would that get demonetized?
No, it wouldn't. It would not.
Okay.
Bill Cosby in a mirror would scare me a lot more than a ghost. So, if it was a ghost, at least it was a ghost. At least it was a ghost.
Yeah. And as soon Bill Cosby will be.
Turn off all the lights and say Bill Cosby in the mirror 3 times.
Oh, no. Nope. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm glad you liked my surprise and my fiance on my channel and he got to share his ghost story with you.
It's always nice to be here.
Yes! Please subscribe to Jazzy Jolene Sings and the Dogmatic Director.
I do films. Like
awesome.
I just talk about films. Please watch.
It's awesome.
I'm glad you think so.
That's good work. Well, anyways, bye-bye, guys.
Bye.